editing right now, and the clip I took yesterday of me saying all this didn't turn out, so that's why the change of scenery. Yesterday, when we started setting up to get ready to film, we were gifted with a lovely and terrible surprise. Really, there's nothing lovely about it. So I will insert a clip here to show you guys what we found. Guys, oh my god, literally raw reactions just happened. We were getting ready to film for today's video, and look at what we just saw. This is not like this like 2 days ago when I was out here looking at it. Now that you know about the not so lovely surprise, yeah, that was unfortunate to see. We don't know what happened. It literally wasn't like that 2 days ago. So, not sure what happened there. We're gonna look at that. That's the least of our worries right now compared to what we're up against. Our plan of action is we're gonna put 2 bricks behind the back wheel so the car doesn't roll away. We're gonna jack up the car as high as we can, and we have 2 wheel ramps. We're gonna put them under the front wheels. Usually I know you would place them and then you would drive up, but obviously since my car doesn't drive, we're not gonna be driving it up. So we're gonna place it under, and then we're gonna lower the car till it's onto the ramps, and then we will take the jack out. So here are the wheel ramps and the jack, and we're just gonna try and put those under the front wheel. And we also have some bricks that we're going to try and block the ramps with, and nice, they say Savage on them. Just as a little reminder, here's what we're working with. Super dirty, it's been sitting here for a while. Oh, and when we pushed it, here's a little mark, so that's lovely. But yeah, we are gonna fix this up for sure. And here is the other side. I'm gonna put the bricks behind the wheels so it doesn't roll backwards once we jack it up. So I got one there, and I'm gonna put this one on the other side. I have the jack, and I'm going to place it under the support beam. So I'm just going to slide it in under here and get it nice and tight under that, and slide it over so it's all nice and secure. That would be a great time to introduce my assistant for the day, my dad. It's a manual jack, so it got pretty heavy and tricky for me to lift, but he is going to help me out. So since it is very crooked, what we're gonna try and do is just block the wheels with these guys, and then we're gonna lower it a little bit and try and make it more center, and then push that one in more so it's more even. Okay, now it's all centered, so we're gonna do a little more, and it's easier now because I can go all the way around. Okay, now that we have the wheel ramps under, I'm just gonna lower it so it's all nice and sturdy. All right, looking pretty good.
You want to go until all the weight is off, and you can take that out.
Oh, and it's not touching anymore. Great. Now the car is all lifted and ready to go. I know that for an oil change and for taking at the sump, you don't need to disconnect the battery, but because we don't know what we're gonna get into and what's gonna end up happening and like what we're gonna see or find or have to do afterwards, we're just gonna disconnect the battery right now to be safe, so it's all good for the future. Alright, here's the battery, and first thing I'm going to take off the negative side. So just going to unscrew it and pop that right out. And then this one is going to take a little more work. It's the positive side, so we'll get on that. Okay, so this is the underneath, and right here is the sump that we're going to be taking out. I need to be really honest with you guys. As I've said many times before, I have never done anything like this before, and so every part of it is a new experience, and some of it is harder than I thought, some of it's easier. Really, I'm learning along the way. Something you may not know about me is I have a horrible, like, it affects me every day, phobia of spiders and most bugs. And it's not just a little fear, I am truly terrified. And I know it seems so silly and so unimportant, but it's really serious for me. And also, this isn't to the same level, but I really don't like when things that I think are dirty or may have bugs or spiders on them are close to my head or my face. I get super nervous that things are in my hair and I freak out, and so I have to wear a hat, and even then it doesn't really make me feel better. So as we were filming, I tried to go under the car for the very first time. I've never been under a car in my entire life, and I've never seen the bottom of a car ever, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I wasn't expecting to be as truly upset and terrified as I was. Honestly, we are filming, as you can see, in a garage that is quite dirty and the floor is broken, and we live on a farm, so there are thousands of bugs and especially spiders here. And I tried to be as brave as I possibly could. We laid out a mat so I could try and get down on the ground, but there were so many spiders all around me and I felt very unsafe. And you know, going under the car was very close to my face. I thought things were gonna fall on me constantly. Stuff was actually in my hair, which was not great. I didn't like that. And you know, if my back is on the ground and something's very close to me, it's very hard to run away. If a spider were on me or something, I understand they will not harm me in any way, and I understand that they are small little creatures and they don't want to be on me or near me. I've heard it all and I understand it all, but it is something that I cannot control, and I am truly terrified. So I tried my very best because I want to work on this car as much as I possibly can myself. You know, it means a lot to me, but going into the car is not going to be something I can do right now. I can honestly say it was the most terrifying experience of my entire life. 100%. I've never done anything scarier. It's been many hours since we filmed, and I was just trying to collect myself so I could film a little more. But I just wanted to be open and honest that, you know, I'm gonna do everything that I can and try my very best. Maybe next time when it's not like 30 degrees, I'll wear long pants and a long sweater and a hat or something. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be getting more help than I was planning on, which does make me sad. But maybe it's gonna break me out of these fears. So I just want to let you guys know you're going to see a lot more helpers, probably a lot more of my dad.
All right, so that is our oil sump, and that's the plug we have to undo. It looks pretty beat up. So there's some of the bolts we have to do, and then there's a few more that's pretty gunky. And then we're gonna go over here and undo that. There's a lot of wet oil, so we'd like to see where that's all coming from. That's the transmission down there. It looks like a transmission fluid plug.
We found an old bucket, so we're going to use this to drain the oil into, but we think there might be a leak or something because there is quite a lot, so we're gonna show you. There's just so much sludge and gunk and grease and we don't know what, so hopefully if there is a leak we can figure out what is going on so we can fix it. Right now we're going to take out the oil drain plug, so we're just opening it up. And there it goes. Whoa, that looks gross. So we're also going to be able to see afterwards if all those metal pieces and stuff are in there. Hopefully we'll be able to tell what exactly they are. And all that. Because of these stormy looking clouds and the incredibly loud thunder that we've been hearing, we're gonna pack it up for the night. It's the next day, and before the storm took over last night, it was literally thundering and lightning and pouring all night long. We tried to take off the sump, but our socket wrench wouldn't fit under there because we had an extension, but we need a longer extension. So we were at Canadian Tire to get an extra one, and hopefully we can get up there and unscrew that. And also the chassis beam was a little bit in our way, so there was other bolts we need to take out. So I don't know exactly what we're gonna get for those, but we need to get another tool to be able to take those out. It's also pouring rain right now, so let's try and make it into the store alive. The rain isn't as bad as it looked. So these are all of the sort of extensions and different adapters we were looking at. This is what we decided to end up going with, so hopefully that's gonna work out for us. So our problem was that we couldn't fit the ratchet up to these like bolts to get them out because that part of it is way too deep and thick and it just wasn't working out for us. So to solve that problem, we found these little guys and we have a 1/2 inch. We also found these smaller ratchets that we can just pop in here and spin it, and that should perfectly solve our problem. Alrighty, so now we are just going to unbolt this. Here was our other problem, that this wasn't fitting into this one, and we needed an extra extender. At least it was getting in the way, and it just was not working out. What we need to do is we have this extension, but we need another one, and thankfully we found this super old kit with spider webs and dirt all over it, and that is going to help us out quite a bit to get around that problem. Now we have the extension on, and we're going to see if it works out. And it looks like it's gonna work perfectly, so we're just gonna go ahead and pop these off. All of the bolts are out now, but we're just gonna try and pry it off. It's been on there for many, many years, so we're just gonna try and pry off the gasket and obviously the whole sump, and I will let you know once we get it off. It's loose, this side is coming out, so we should have some luck. Let's see if we can pull it off. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, careful of your face.
So the transmission might actually be in the way. Oh, wait.
Oh.
No, we're good.
Great, it's coming out. This beam is really giving us problems today. There it is. Let's see inside of it. I'm a little scared. Whoa, almost fell over. Wow, there it is.
Well, that would explain what's going on.
Oh my God. What is that? Does anybody?
So that's.
Do you know what that is?
The end. You're going to go to your manual and have a look, and then you get to tell us what it is.
Oh my God. Look at that. Okay, there's no way that's good.
We have.
Oh my God. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but I'm sure it's not supposed to be full of that. We brought it into some better lighting, and yeah, this looks pretty rough. I got out my book, but first I want to point out some things. So this is just thick oil, I believe, and the gasket, there's not much of it left, and it's really just rough and chipping. So that's probably why we have oil leaking absolutely everywhere. You can see if I flip around over here, there's a bunch of dents and like gouges out of this, which is probably when all of this fell in and scraped it. But I got out my Haynes manual so I could try and identify what some of this stuff is. So first I'm going to show you this part. I have my thing here, and to me it looks like that is 37, which are the big end bearings, which makes sense for where this is. And then this next part, 32, is this end, and this part right here, which looks oddly familiar to this part. So I have a pretty good guess that this is the connecting rod and some of the bolts holding it together. Now I want to show you guys what the underneath bit looks like, but you're gonna have to wait till next time. That was a huge surprise. I was definitely not expecting that. It tells us a lot more about what happened, but also leaves us with a lot more questions. As always, I love and appreciate your comments, so let me know if you have any idea of what happened or what's going on, and I will see you next episode.